bag at? Good old expensive place. Getting the walls. Some other piece things, some rivets. Just listening to the suggestions. But I'm just suggesting things. I like to see what she comes up with. I'm doing stuff. This is gonna replace the blue tarp at the bottom. I'm gonna put clear, so it'll be 360 all around. You can see. It'll be beautiful. And he's evolving.
Look at my. This was my memory. Remember the porch?
Oh yeah.
2 years ago. Shit, in 2 years we still be on fucking tarp. Hey, we've been coming a long way from the. I won't say dirt floors.
What's up, man? Love and light, everybody. Hope you're all safe. You're able to be well with your families. What? Brother German, much love and respect, brother. 2 days up in a row, so that everything that she likes doesn't get wet. It's exhausting. But the things that you do, it wears on you. I have no work. I'm retired at 40. It's crazy. Build up the property. And let this beautiful light guide me. Back in the office. Pull in. Get some loaded. Beautiful day. Beautiful day to start the week. Back to hauling this stuff. Battery being charged up. Head back for making the Green Island. Cutting a path down for our garden, food. Cut around for fire abatement. Cut down to that valley. Circle. 100-foot waft like this. Crystal's getting washed. It's crazy. We had one over here. It blew up. A crack. Concrete, I guess, from the water. Cold spell. Ice. Yeah, the other guy hit. My favorite. Amethyst. Integrated into a walkway or something. That guy shattered. Must have got water down into it and froze. The heck was that? Yeah, hunting down there. I gotta put this house together. I ain't got time to mess with y'all today. We're doing white and clear. Do some rudders. Shot into town for more supplies. While she's gone, get stuff done. Chop chop. Do the riblets across. And she brings up the other clear it. Take the guy down. Beautiful life. Like that, clear all the way around. And then all until we get to silica. Get my power generation up. Do my plasma forges on a larger scale. Last two stickers cut. Time to start drilling them up. Color you gotta make it slush, man. Anyhow. I have to raise this up. Make that flat. Cut the tips off. Get this done. Get the riblets. Beautiful day. Certain things that come that flush. So now with the angles gone on top, put all this perfect, true it out. Take these back down for when the bullet gets here. Put the clear up. Start mounting and everything, be nice. Wonder Twin. A little porch, have it come out more. Hang this guy there. Do the sides. $150 rubber bag. That's the shop for that. Interesting. Well, I just got home. No materials. Look what's up. And fire gone. Trim some herb. Need to trim that work.
Good afternoon.
What happened?
We got the discount because talked to the manager. Yeah, we got a discount because I talked to the manager and
But where are the panels?
they don't have them. So the lady said that it was a sequence of people that didn't do their job all along the line. So the guy last night that told us we have them, but they will bring them down in the morning. They didn't have them, and the website is not updated either. So it was like the person made a mistake, then the website made a mistake. Because literally, I called before I left this morning. I called Home Depot, and it said you put your phone number, and it tells you your order is being processing. We'll give you a call, but it says like your order is getting ready, and it said when I placed the order, pick up today.
Yeah, I remember last night.
And so they gave us a 20% discount on the panels on the whole purchase. It was like $400 discount. Yeah, I talked to the manager. She's like, "Can we do like 15-20% off?" I was like, "Sure, as long as I get the panels eventually, because there's nowhere to buy them. I'm like, I'm not really trying to come off like crazy at all with you guys. I'm trying to finish this shit. I was like, can you call Chico, see if they got any? I can go get 8. I need 8 to finish my roof. She's like, no, they don't have any. UBC didn't have any.
Alright, so we'll set the one side and the bottom right here
Yeah, what
where
we got.
it's true, so that when we get the other panels, we'll get everything all set, so forth, and figure out how we're gonna hang the walls.
Yeah.
All that good stuff. Thank you for going there. Scissors.
5 hours went by. I don't know fucking how. I woke up at 7:30, 8:30. I left. I was like, let's get the day going. I know Ezekiel might wake up like at 10:30 or whatnot, and rather just like I'm just sitting here trying to warm up. I can do that on the way on the road. But they do have a. Do you need some tea? They do have a. Remember how you were saying how crazy each Ryobi battery? It's $100, and then each of the parts it's like a couple $100 each.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I forgot to look at the different attachment heads for that too.
They have the same bag, the bag with everything we have in it, a whole combo. Only one battery though, battery charger, but only one battery on one 18-volt battery. $200, $199. It's just Black Friday promotion. If you were to buy them all separately, it says that it's about $700. And yeah, it's kind of crazy. They have like sort of wall specials, and they have stuff like that. I walked by that wall because yesterday we were taking the bits like, by getting the screws and stuff and whatnot, and I was looking at the price and I was like, yeah, a battery is $100. But that brings a circular saw, the impact drill, the regular drill, pretty much the flashlight, everything you have in that bag with the bag in it. It says if bought separately, it's like $700. And I got you this because I thought you were gonna need it for multiple reasons. But when we start working with the wood chipper and stuff, they had them on sale. because it brings the side and the metric. Like this, it says when bought separately, it's $530. It was less than 99. It was like 89 something. I figure when we went and bought these were like pricey themselves, right?
They can be depending on the brand that you get.
And this one, these
But
would
those
fit.
what you're pointing at were different.
I thought it would go to have everything instead
hold
of
on.
getting parts.
Just let me help you understand.
Yeah, these depending on the strength that it
No.
would hold.
What you're pointing at, those are normal wrench. The ones that I bought specifically are for SAE.
Oh yeah, the one that has it like that.
The angles
Yeah,
are cut
it's
specifically
like that. The
for
other one
working
is
on that type of
circle. Yeah,
materials.
yeah, I gotcha. Oh, I didn't see what those are.
I wasn't trying to be a butthole. I was just trying to help you so you know.
Yeah, and then the
that
end
in
might
your
be
thought.
different, right? Because these ones are smaller. The end are more hexagonal. This one is more like star pattern.
No, I understand. Here. Open the box and look at it, honey, so you
Yeah.
understand what you're thinking in your mind.
Well, I have them here.
One is an open face so that you can open the box.
It has combination wrenches. Say and MM.
Metric.
Yeah. It brings millimeter. It brings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the say.
So which side is say and which side is metric?
What side?
Yeah.
Well, it's
Well, nothing. Which side is metric is say and which side is metric?
I thought they'll be
It's
shaped
very
different.
it's very simple. Yes, it is. So which side is say and which side is metric?
What do you mean, what side? I don't understand.
Side. Which side? The wrench is double-sided. Which side is SAE and which side is MM?
Of these
Of
and
the
this
wrench.
part?
Yes.
This is SAE and this is MM, the millimeter. The metric system.
Okay. What?
I was asking too, so I would have it.
I was
Yeah.
asking you, do you know which side is on the wrench? babe?
I do, but I didn't understand. I'm trying to understand my husband. I'm trying to understand what
Me
he's
asking
asking.
you which side of the wrench is SAE, which side is metric.
Did you use it ever?
But yet, even though those are SAE,
Yeah.
do you see the way that they're shaped? It's different than what you were trying to say that we got the same as. I'm trying to help you understand.
Yeah, I understand what
Don't
you're
stick
saying.
the shit
Pointing out.
together and you can't do that. Completely different tools. Don't assume.
Well, I want to see if they have any of those, but by the way it's shaped, they're all the same. They don't have that angle.
I can't use those on the fucking vehicle that why we bought those. Otherwise they round out those bolts. Do you understand? That's why I'm trying to say to you, stop trying to put them together in your mind because they're completely fucking different. You got a zebra and a fucking tiger and a lion. Do you understand? Are you sure? You cannot take any of those tools and work on Casey.
Because they're around the bolt.
Do you understand? On its hydraulics. You have to use those other ones. Even though they're SAE, it's not the same as
No,
those.
I understand.
Stop trying to put them together. In your comparison, they're completely different. Do you understand?
Two guys on the plate.
Please. Like what you're building that we're trying to help.
The other ones are called
Yourself.
wrenches, too. Wrenches.
They have a specific name that I've read and forgot that. Depending on the way you look upon, because remember when we went and got them, I asked for the specific name of them, and the people
In
didn't
this
know what
view, too, because
they
they don't
didn't
know
know
what they
what the fuck-
say. Or they call it standard American, the standard American system.
it was. Depending on how they have it allocated in the system or whatnot, Their hydraulic wrench that kits.
Hydraulic wrench. Yeah, that's what they
You
call it.
understand?
Yeah.
So they was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, these are specific these. I need these, otherwise I can't work on my shit. I just round the bolts out. I'm not trying to do it.
Anyhow, this is for you, not for me.
It's for both of us.
But then I start
You're
losing
telling me,
them.
you're
Yeah.
talking to me about working on the chipper. Whose chipper is it? It's yours.
Yeah,
Why the fuck
I'll
would
get
you tell
myself
me-
my own tools.
why
I'm
would you
I'm
tell
saying
me-
I'll get myself my
Why
own
would you
tools.
say
'Cause
that this is mine for working on the chipper when the chipper is yours?
I'm saying this is yours, so I don't mess with it. Cause then
It's not that I don't want you to
lose
waste for it because it's fucking laziness. Don't do that. I'm sorry. I don't want you to do that. Shit. Don't
What,
use
you
that
have your
verbatim.
own set and I'll have my own set? Is that laziness?
Why do I need my own set? And you need your own set because you're stating that you would lose stuff. It's just after you use it, you put it back.
Yeah, I'll
Regardless
I'll
if you
get
buy
in
your
that
own set.
program.
And I have my own set. If you still
I agree.
do the same, you're still gonna lose your shit. And you would have to use mine. Or go buy another one specific for that tool. Or socket, and depending on which socket you fucking lose, unless you order it online, it can be expensive. Because you can only get it in groups or whatnot. You know? I'm not trying to be a bubble to you, I'm just saying, please don't just change that mentality of, you need this, because I'm going to lose my shit. Or lose your shit. It's just lost if you don't put it back, babe. When you're done using it. That's all. That's why I'm confused on your verbatim of I bought this for you. So when you work on the chipper. No. We'll be working on the chipper. Because you're going to learn how to use your machine. And fix them for you. Because there's a card in it. So I would get a Chrysler Motors and fucking mechanics manual from AutoZone or online. It shows you everything of that schematics of that motor. So I had you write down the stuff for it. You know what I mean? So working on that car, what side of the wrench or what part of the toolbox would you be using on there? You have a Mopar motor. Do you understand what Mopar means?
No.
M-O-P-A-R.
Nope.
Mopar. American made muscle right there.
So it's gonna be say. It's not gonna be a metric.
Ah.
532. I don't know where the pH this is. pH. Yeah, it is. No, pH 2.
Those were adapter pieces that you use.
So here, this guy's. pH 1. 3 8. pH 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. What here? T55.
For your Ford, what side would you use?
For what?
For your Escape, what would you use?
The metric. Oh, well, I think. Yeah, the metric.
Are you sure?
It's not American. It's
Ford's American
yeah.
vehicle.
Then
What would you do for the Acura?
it's Honda. What's Honda?
Is Honda American?
No, I don't think so. No, it's not. It's not American. I don't think so. I don't know.
Slow your mind. Is Honda, which is Acura is a subsidiary of Honda and vice versa.
Yeah.
Where does it come from?
That's at the point that I got to. I don't know
Where
where does
does
it come from.
Honda come from? Is it Japanese, Chinese, or car maker? Or is it made in Argentina, honey? Is it made in America?
Yeah, it's not imported from Europe or anything like that.
Is it made in America?
I think so. Yeah, I guess. Cause I don't know.
Really? That's your dumbass answer? When we had it worked on, where did we have to go to?
The dealerships.
No. Stop guessing.
When
we had the
worked
oil change and other things like that, what kind of fucking mechanic place did we go to? An American or an import? We were there in all the times. It's ridiculous.
Because your question is totally out of place. You're asking me
Oh.
to have it worked on. I never had the car worked on.
You never
I went
had
to
the
the
car-
dealership
you
in
never-
Reno to buy a bolt, and then
Acura, Berta, the Acura sitting right motherfucking there. The Acura, I asked you, the Acura. Acura, when did you
Okay,
drive the
this is-
Acura to Reno
repeating
to get a
yourself.
bolt? When did you get a bolt for the Acura motor? That you just stated,
when that was a CRX.
which is a Honda. And I'm asking you about the Acura.
Which is
Why I
from
keep
Honda.
repeating myself. No, it's not. It's from Acura. That's a fucking Acura, and it's not a Honda.
You just pop the hood and I'll see whatever the fuck number it's in there, or however the shit is, and
Is it an import? I'm just very simple. Is Acura or fucking Honda
I think it's
American?
from here. I don't think it's imported. I already gave you my answer.
Every
If you
place
wanna
that we
pull
ever
my
had an
teeth
oil
or-
change done on that car or the other ones, if we didn't do it ourselves, had to be an import place, Maria. Honda and Acura is not from America. Therefore, it's metric.
I never taken shit to do
When we
anything
had
special
when
that
we
is
had the
not
car,
to.
when we had the car done,
I always done my
when we
oil
had the car
change.
done,
Okay.
when we had the
I
car
don't know where
checked and
you
the oil
taking it.
changed, when we
Where
had
you taking it?
when
Where
you
have
had
you
the
taken it?
when you had the oil changed in the Acura several
Please
times,
tell me where have you taken
and you
it?
spent over
Because I
$100
always-
bucks, $100 over the full synthetic. Where did you have it done to have full synthetic done?
No special shit in lubes. I always done it in Walmart and lubes. The only two places that I ever
Uh-huh.
done oil change. So it's
And
no
they tell
special
no,
place.
no.
The oil
And they
might be
tell
special,
you, and they
but
tell
no
you
special
why.
place.
And they tell you
And
what.
ask me where the fuck we take
They
it to
tell
get
you what is an
worked on.
import. You didn't have it done in Walmart, in fucking Carson City, where the dude explained to you, you have an Acura. This is the full synthetic. You need to import. The same with the guy in Reading in front of Safeway, where we had the car worked on, which was just an import place that worked on just imports.
Cool. I always thought I was just putting synthetic because they give you more lifetime.
So, which side would you use on it?
The Matrix is easy. God.
That's why since you bring back when we worked on the CRX, that's why I had to buy 2 tool sets, because we drove a van that was a Ford, and we had a CRX that we also worked on, both together. One is an import, one is American made.
Different makers.
They're different makers, different math. It's different math, huh? Of course, there's different makers. All cars are done by different makers, but it's the math that you use to work on them. Understanding if you need an import tool or metric or non-metric will save you from rounding your bolts out and other things. Also on your torques and so forth, so that you can get a long bar and tighten it to where it needs to be or loosen it up because of torque. Okay, the math and how this is the bite, the save. The actual chirality of the way the bolt is done inside to where it bites and holds down for you to break it. Why you round stuff off in different bolts, because inside of it, the way the key coverage of breaking that bite or that chirality is different from metric to say. Do you understand? curving and shit. So I had to cut a hole through it and mount it differently to the frame. But then I had to wait until we get the plastic stuff up here. So
Yeah, because we don't have the clarity to do that anyways.
I have to take it off the end. Figure the easiest thing is to take the extra piping that we have over there for the other fireplace, stick it on the stove while it's hot, heat that shit up real hot, and stick it on it, and make like a template, and then cut it out with razor blade.
Yeah.
And just be able to feed it through.
Yeah, because it's plastic, it's hot, it's melted. And then, if you want, we put the fiberglass.
Look at that. I'm gonna put metal. We got metal plates over there in the area where I got that stuff. Fiberglass instead of vinyl. They got thin tin sheet stuff
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that they
Already
use.
pre-cut.
No.
Oh.
It's sheeting for doing the seams of the roofs and other things like that, and stuff by HVAC. Some HVAC also.
Oh.
And you can think about using it underneath of the skirting to keep stuff out.
Just snakes and stuff inside.
No,
Rats.
mice and stuff out of
Bunny.
There's no sense you want to do the walls in that manner. We gotta do a frame or something around the thing with those block. Yeah, we'll see how it is on the bottom, but I was thinking of doing like
Skirt.
doing something, I'm not sure.
Yeah, how people do like
Either that or
underwear
leaving the
things.
plastic up on as a secondary wall to keep it dry. Since it's white, since we're not gonna be seeing through that. Fold it over where it's double walled and have the corrugated just to keep that bottom, the bottom dry for us. Let's do that alone the thing. And then have it clear on top. So we can keep that coldness from doing this, and we can keep our air in.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Raise that down just a little bit. Make it flush. Let's figure out the stopper things, the heater on there. And then the sides. Redo this guy right here in a second. What do you? Get a couple more of those one by one and do a thing right here.
I know, like I had done that, but level like that.
Yeah. For the white to go against. Maybe like
Yeah.
a broom. Give it stability, but also a spot for the clear to tack into. And go up from there. Or I should say come down into it. Still quiet.
You been just doing this?
Hmm?
Yeah, just do something with it. Because in the morning you didn't have no suck. Like it catches on fire, but then all later everything else was on fire, which is it.
I've been messing with it since I got it.
Yeah. Something with it.
So nice to be able to cut the weed. And the edges and that shit.
Can you get to the table? Oh, how long did you want the extension for? Did you want it at 25 or 50? They didn't have, they didn't have, I couldn't find any of those. At least I was in the Christian section I was looking at, and next to the customer service when I was looking at that while I was waiting. I got a
Just ask
40
them
for
where
it.
your the cords are.
I
Just
got a
ask the
40
people
for
for it. I don't know how to flip it. That's all right. Habla, habla, habla. How do you say numbers? And feed and whatnot. As always. I'm gonna do. And I wish I had that other 100-foot cord that use as the clothesline. Yeah, sucks. Whatever, dude. Anyway, it's nice. It's all waiting for you to come back first. I switched the cords over so I can do a good battery life. Yeah, 100-foot cord would be able to do the battery vent and have that guy going. Or if I needed to. By chance, you check the weather.
I had that thought as I was leaving because
It's been noticing like clouds go by.
it's so funny because the kid that helped me put the batteries back in the car because he was the one on the customer service and he was like, well, I'm sorry we weren't able to help you, but I'm helping you, load the car. And I was like, yeah, it's good. I was just hoping to finish my roof, and he's like, I don't think it's gonna rain for the next 2 weeks. For the next week, I looked at it. I was like, I don't think I can trust that. And then I didn't check the fucking weather, dude. But it looked clear in Arabelle. But as I was starting to come out, there was like some odd formations. But it looks really clear down here. It's just above us. And then I had that thought. We can check it now with the other phone. That's so funny that you say that because I thought I was leaving town and then I was like, I don't want to pull over. I want to get the fuck out of here. It's been like, I got in the car, it was like 1 something. I was like, I want to get out of here. Then when I bought that, dude, I spent my whole fucking time in customer service. When I bought that has 270 pieces. There's another one that has 290 pieces. Somebody had misplaced it. So when I grabbed it, because there were like the whole wall of them, when I grabbed them, I go out, the lady checks me out, and it was like 160 or something. And I was like, oh no, this is not the right item. Like it said it was like less than $100. So she's like, oh yeah, somebody put it. Look, it's like 290 pieces. So I had to go back. She's like, can you go back to customer service and they'll refund you the money? And I was like, sure. So I fucking went back to customer service with both of them, carrying both of them, after carrying the fucking one of those cards that are just annoying. I was like, went back to customer service, there's a whole line, and the lady gave me the money back, and then I bought it back. And then the kid, they helped me, like, dude, I was like, I looked at him like this, because when he first came, I was like, this Chinese kid, I was like, I'm here to pick up the order. He's like, yeah, we don't have your order. I'm like, okay. He's like, let me just call somebody. I was like, alright. So he called somebody, and he's like, did you order the right ones? And I just looked at the kid. Like, I just looked at him. He's like, did you? I was like, dude, come on. He's like, well, there's a whole bunch. I was like, I know, but I ain't that stupid, like fucking. You got clear. I can name them to you, fucking. You got clear, white, gray, fucking, and green. And I was like, come on. He said, well, I'm sorry. I was like, dude, like, really, come on. Like, I've been fucking with this fucking story fucking forever. He said, well, who's the guy that helped you yesterday? I'm like, do you really expect me to learn your guys' name? And he's like, well, there's customers that don't. I'm like, yeah, but I came and got some panels, why do I need to know his name? I was like, they all look like kids, like all Central American, South American like me, like I don't know what to tell you, they all look like kids, they all look like me, kinda, because the kid was like a white kid, so I was like, they only look like you. I know how to tell you how the kids look, I was like, if you give me a list of the people that worked in lumber yesterday, then maybe I can fucking come up with a name. I don't know what to tell you, why are you fucking asking me the name, And he said, well, we want to know who helped you because they told you we had them. I was like, yeah, they told me they had them, and the website say you got them. You know, because if the guy, when I talked to him, that he
All
went
he's gonna do
disappeared.
is fucking look on his little doo-wop.
No, but he went and talked to somebody, and he said, oh yeah, we have them here in the back.
Yeah, that went and looked on the doo-wop.
Mhm.
All they're gonna do is just look on the doo-wop. That's what everybody does, the doo-wop.
But if they would,
It's like the boxes, trying to get those 2 damn boxes. I was like, look, dude, can you get the boxes? Oh, we got them on the shelf because they went and scanned a little piece, and I was like, no, dude, I need unopened boxes because I need fucking 120 of these motherfuckers, but I'll just take the 2 boxes at 50 piece. I got some at home. I'll make this shit work. Well, they're on the shelf. No, dude, can you get me the thing? Because I don't know. There ain't no more in the back. And can you look, please? So, lady was trying to help me. Someone got that guy that helped us with the wood. I went up there and we went over and he was like, yeah, it says scan. Is that on the thing? And I'm like, no, dude, they're both open.
yeah.
Well, we don't got none in the back. And I'm like, fuck. Well, fucking, we started looking up. He found one and then I found the other one. I'm like, they're up there. Why don't you guys got this shit like inventory? Because for them, when I scanned it, it only showed that they had the 2 boxes that were open in the shelf.
Oh,
That they
so
had
they were
none.
missing inventory, like they were missing of what they had in stock.
Yeah.
Well,
Those
Leah's,
weren't listed as being in the back or on top on the floor. It was just those 2 on the shelf.
no. In this case, if the guy would have physically gone and say, we don't have it, he should have take them out, you know, and not keep showing in stock. Because even today it shows that they had them, and they went and checked in the back, and they're like, no, we don't have them. So I was like, can I please? And there's like 4 kids now, like they're piling up,
That's
you know.
that's night shift not doing their job because night shift would be the
Stock,
stalkers
because it's the time
and
they got at
those who
5
d-
in the morning. They got like
and
free time
those
they
that
could
do
prep,
the out prepping.
prep cook, and so then they're piling up in front of me, asking me for names and shit, and I'm like, can I just talk to a manager? And they're like, yeah, sure, sure. You want to talk to the manager? I was like, please bring somebody that I can talk to, because I just, you know, technology's nice and all good, but you know, like, dude, I'm here, and I just drove 2 hours, you know, and I'm fucking don't want to keep doing this, you know. And they bring this lady, and she's like, what do you want to do? 15, 20% off? What do you want to do? And the boys were like, don't give up, like, don't give it up so easy. So I was like, I'll take 20. And then I said, good, then come pick it up. She's like, it's coming on the 25th, but we're closed on the 26th. So she's like, I don't really know when on the 25th it'll be out. So somewhere on the 27th you're looking at, just wait for a call. And I was like, sounds good. And I left.
Can
And
we
then
get 25?
yeah, and then I
25,
came
30?
back, and then I came back. Well, cause it was like $1,200. 20% of that is good money. And then I came back, and I was like, hey, can you just call Chico and see maybe they got 8, you know? And then I left to get some more stuff, and then I had to go back to get that, you know? I was like, oh my god, you know, when you start getting, I don't know, I start getting like fucking. That's when I start getting anxious, and I'm like, oh, I want to leave. Like, I just want to leave. It's been so long, you know. Like, I've been doing this for fucking. I don't know. That's when I get anxious. But I understand that people don't. They're not in my same rhythm. They got thousands of other customers, you know, and so it's like having to work with them as they're wanting to work with me. You know, they're just customers. They can't really resolve a lot of things. All they got is that little thing. Which basically I look, because yesterday I was looking at it. Well, if you go to either of those places like Home Depot or Lowe's, and if you go in the search engine, it gives you the option to scan the barcode in the store when you're in the store, so you can use your
Do the
phone
same thing.
as they're doing it. Yeah, not just like Walmart that tells you in such aisle, but it'll tell you the inventory and everything. Like Discovery does.
That's what the kids did.
You use his own phone.
Huh.
I realize they're so not trained. Like they don't. Then people have no experience of building anything or doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard for them when you're asking them, like, I'm putting this together, unless you catch an elder person, that they've been doing the plumbing, like in that section, and they're pretty expertise in that area. Like, they just have the kids as like hands, like helping hands, working hands, but not like. I don't think they're an asset for the company in that way.
Ooh. They are if a person's made themselves,
Learn from people coming.
but also do it on their own on the outsource.
Yeah. Well, like the first time that I went and bought these plastic, the guy that I asked, he had a greenhouse on his own. So I was like, I want to get these for doing a greenhouse. Do you think it's like good? How thick do I need it? And that's when he told me there's like 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter, depending on the weather, heavy or whatnot, and the resistance. And so I was like, okay. And then asking him, that's what the guy had given me the screws for the metal too. Things that somebody introduces you to, because there's so much.
Yeah.
Then once you're introduced to, then you can figure out the lengths or whatnot. But understanding that there's certain items that go with certain things specifically, which the stores do pretty good job like putting those things together. Like for these panels having those screws underneath it or all the things that you need for that. You just gotta look. But I'm saying when you walk in the store and when I ask somebody like, hey, coming into our store, like where can what is this tea good for? Things like they're not in depth on
Because
that.
they're not drinking the tea.
No, that's why, because they're not doing the projects, or they're not building it at home, or they have not paint that wall, or maybe it's a matter of experience just because they're young, mostly. They live with their parents and.
Yeah, turn around. Again, it's all someone wanting to make themselves an asset, or say you work in the lumber side for a minute, you learn some stuff, or you talk with contractor, or that's some shit that you just do on the side. You work part-time and you have good side work with people that come in or whatnot. Who knows? But you learn it a little bit outside of the workplace instead of just when you clock out, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I don't take it like I work like that. I think they're just so Caleb's cousins, because they're like a bunch of like 7 kids, but not on gear. They look like really heel kids, when I was getting water in the water hole.
And then bikes.
Yeah, like really street bikes, not like those kids on gear that we saw the other day. They just said like this was their backyard. I'm gonna use gloves for doing this shit because this cut wasn't fun.
Learning experience.
Yeah, just saying. I wanna use gloves. The edges are sharp.
Yeah.
I'm doing like height and stuff.
Yeah.
Just before?
Learned you can't use the broom handle, huh?
The broom is only to give you support when it's bowing like that. I was just gonna guide it as you pushed it.
As I pushed it,
You weren't gonna push it.
as I can't reach it because it's set on here. And I'm saying you gotta use your hands and pull it. You go ahead and use your broom.
What you doing?
Hmm?
What you doing?
Opening this up, seeing why this
Glove.
is doing fuddy duddy.
I need to figure something out. That's like 2 days, 4 days.
Not 2 days.
A week?
not 2 days. Man. We have been moving this around. It hasn't been set. There's something. Break it. It's been done as such. It's not set. Thing is not set. Because we're still moving the frame around. What reality are you in?
Felt like it was like a week. Last time it tells you
You
like,
just said 2 days.
well, that was exaggerated.
But it seems like most of your speeches is saturation. If I take it as face, that's why I asked her what are you talking about. Put a piece of cheese or something. These things come in a couple times. Look at me. You got food in the car, I'd close it up. You little Romeo, take it.
No, there's no food in the car. Except for these chips.
I full took my pretzels, so. You take your fucking chips?
No, he didn't take them, just digging through them.
That's what that crunch sound was?
Yeah. And he was like literally under the door. Romeo, did you even drink your milk? Dude, this morning he hadn't drink it. Put a dog in my luggage. I'm getting cold. Can I use your yellow jelly?
Yeah. Put my gloves on. The 25th, I think that 27th, oh, too long ago. Keeping time with that kid. The kid said ain't gonna have no rain for a week. Hopefully it's for the hilltop too, because usually people just pay attention to the weather in the valley.
Oh, that's nice.
That's the issue. Always sitting down at the shop, we'd be like, oh man, it's sunny down here, and come up here and fucking raining.
Yeah. Oh, that might take time.
Alright, I should take everything somewhere.
Do you want to put it down a little bit more? Or no?
Yeah, the sky is got gray. Blue nowhere up here. It's all gray all over.
Sorry, I didn't trust that. And where do we have this? I need to do my laminated flooring. I'm gonna put my laminated flooring down. There's this lip.
You take this saw and cut.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's a
right,
bit
because it
smaller.
overlapped. Oh, that's right, because we only needed a small piece. That's why we had this.
That's what I'm saying. Think it through, honey.
No, that's why I asked, why do we have the lip? I didn't remember that it was just a half a board that we needed for less to do.
Why wasn't that?
Yeah. And now we got the blade too. Oh, thank you for having the tea warm this morning for me. It was epic. I just woke up and grabbed a cup and drank some tea and warmed up real quick. You know, fucking Romeo. No, so where did he live?
Oh, he came in and sat. We was sitting right there. He sat right there.
Like, on the.
On hello.
No way,
Looking
inside?
at me, got the bluest his eyes, because usually he has his eyes all squinty where it gets like this like blue-green color. Today he had his eyes open where you could see his pupils. He's pretty blue. But like, he just followed me around in the strip. And so I put a piece of cheese and some spinach out for us for him, but he didn't take it. So he kept walking up there and sitting. And then when I was doing the stuff over there, when I was cutting this stuff, he come up and I was like, what the fuck? I thought he was going to attack me. He was like over there. And I cut this with the chainsaw. I got the power tools going. He comes and sits like where the red chair is. When I use the chainsaw to cut the tips off, he keeps on top of the plastic things over there. When I was using the porch to cut
It's like he wants to be
these.
friends, but not.
He was on top of the back of the red chair looking at me. So I was like, alright, you want something?
What do you think?
Mhm.
He didn't touch the white plate, right?
I didn't even see.
Then he drinks his milk. But this one he had it,
He's the oddest cat. I never
right?
that.
Cause cats are odd, but he's.
Never had one dog or anything like that come when you're using power tool or chainsaw.
But no, not just only that, but his whole demeanor, the way he carries himself, the way he comes around, but really, I don't know. He has quite a character. Not all cats are like that, right? I haven't had enough cats.
We'll see as
This
winter
is my
comes.
first cat.
We'll see as winter comes.
He's
War
good.
of attrition.
He's
See if
good.
this punk ass lets me pet him.
I like not having mice. Is that?
Punk ass lets me pet him, then I'll start being nicer to him. Until then, it's just like, whatever, bro. You just keep gaffling shit. Now you notice that I figured out all your spots where you can't get in. Okay.
You gotta come from the door.
Mm.
Knock at the door. Knock at the door, Romeo, if you wanna come in.
You got to come in, buddy. Announce yourself, fool. That day his head popped through, that shit was hella funny. I was like, what the hell? No shame. And he was just like, oh shit. I know. And the last couple of days he just come through. And I looked at him like, what are you doing? Come on, fire.
I like that there's no mice in the RV. Apparently, there's a shortage of these materials, Eco, huh? Just when we wanted it. Because everybody been at home trying to, make projects and shit. And it all works out. If the rain wouldn't be around, I wouldn't give a fuck, but Oh, I'm saying we were asking for the discount. We end up having the discount. I really have the fucking panels though, but it's cool.
Both.
Both.
We get to have our cake and eat it too, babe. Enjoy it. Motherfucker say discount. We get discount, bitches. Talk beer. Enjoy that. Do something else. Dress up. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. The stasis chamber going. Auxiliary battery. Primary battery charged up. Get these lights. Move these over and set them where there are 2 rungs on each so that we see how many we actually need. And set it how it's supposed to be. Let one of those others come. That's true. And put them with those guard things down.
See, just two. They're 2.17. So they're 2 feet. So 2.17. That's right. 2.17. Just a little over 2 feet. That's what I'm saying. There's a cup there too. Yeah, all these because there's air going through all those because they're not really like entangled.
Yeah, because I just threw them up there.
Yeah,
These ones
I know.
weren't done that way.
No, no. I was just noticing all that. Oh. I like these ones. The square corrugated more than the rounded corrugated. But you said it's a different type of the ones they got. It's a different type of the same brand but a different type of PVC PVA. You said a different type of plastic.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's not weather resistant or sun resistant.
You should be using gloves when you handle this stuff.
really not many numbers when I woke up either. It all looked black, but not as much number there. We don't have burnt. And it's smoking, but it's not like.
Yeah. What?
Back at it.
Back at it again. And all those mercies we had for a couple of days. And now the rain starts. Tuck in. Act when you have time. Here's the coming. Ain't nothing like hands-on hollow. Man, that place could have had things. But we got enough. We got enough material to stay dry, inshallah. We diffract this. We got enough shielding. Just gonna get wet getting it into place. I want to throw another one up on that side. Even though for some reason on this corner it hangs down, we're gonna have to manipulate and wrap and do some things. It needs one more to cover that right there. Otherwise there's a gap. Heat it up on top. Generate. I gotta go check the things and everything like that. 2 big ass explosions. Just happened. That's crazy. Sounds like when you're at Squaw Valley and they're doing the avalanche control. Cut some wood up. Get ready for the night. That thing is just hell balls.
Marston were the ones who wrote it.
It's very worrisome, and it's there's people out there not taking the precautions that we need, not taking this seriously still. And we're seeing numbers rise at such a rate that there won't be a bed for you. There won't be someone to take care for you. There will be true if you have a car accident and you're a young, otherwise healthy person, and that to us is just tragic.
Can you just give us a sense of kind of the day-to-day things you're dealing with in the hospital?
A case that really stands out to me is when I had this middle-aged gentleman who we had been doing our best to not intubate, not to get to the point where we had to put him on the ventilator. And his breathing just got to the point where we had to make that decision. And we told him we were going to have to put him on the ventilator, and he begged us to call her and he could say goodbye to her one more time before we put him on the ventilator, because he knew that that was goodbye. And we see it over and over again. And it's tough.
I just wonder, how much do you find yourself in a position of not just fighting this virus, but the misinformation around this virus?
I think it's emotionally exhausting to listen to the patients who come in and are bordering getting intubated and telling us that they don't believe in the virus. So it's kind of a scary thing to see.
Or saying that they wish they would have taken it seriously sooner.
Despite the current circumstances, the state's Republican Governor Pete Ricketts, who is an ally of President Trump, continues to reject the idea of a statewide mask mandate.
I don't think mask mandates are appropriate. I think that they breed resistance.
To the dismay of health professionals, some still view mask requirements as an infringement on their civil liberties. But in neighboring states such as North Dakota and Iowa, other Republican governors are now reversing course as the virus spreads rampantly.
Our situation has changed, and we must change with it. To be clear, These are statewide requirements, not simply recommendations.
Now through December 10th, when your indoor masks are required to be worn. Yet there's a fear that some Americans have grown numb to the staggering death toll and that the upcoming holiday season of joy could turn into a season of sorrow.
Let's enjoy each other. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Let's hope. Nada Tawfik reporting from Nebraska.
Now let's tell you about the escalating conflict in Afghanistan. According to several aid agencies, it's left people without jobs, food. The drug developed by Regeneron will be allowed for use in people who have tested positive for the virus and are also at risk of severe illness.
I am
To find out
legend.
how this treatment works, I've been speaking to Dr. Walid.
Careful, world.
He's Associate Professor of Medicine and
Now
Health
we got all these
Policy and
vaccines
Management
going
at the
into people.
University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the antibodies are essentially mimicking the natural proteins or antibodies you create when you are trying to fight an infection. So instead of asking your body to fight the infection, you're essentially giving the same kind of antibodies into your veins to fight the infection. So the idea is that will help prevent the illness from becoming too serious.
So it's an early stage intervention.
Right, that's the difference, is that it has to be given early, ideally immediately, as soon as someone is infected, but this particular authorization requires that it be given within 10 days of symptoms. I think that's a really important point, is that actually this drug and the other antibody drug were found to be not effective for people in the hospital, and in fact may actually be harmful. So both of the clinical trials testing these drugs in the hospital have been stopped because they don't work. So this is really for people initially diagnosed before they get in the hospital.
Now this follows a similar drug made by Eli Lilly. This is another US pharmaceutical firm also given emergency approval earlier this month. So now we have two drugs available for this kind of early intervention antibody treatment. What kind of a difference do you think this will make? I mean, we're looking at a country now with daily infection rates of around about 180,000. Will it make much of a difference?
Well, yeah, if it were plentiful, it would make a difference. The issue is that it's in very short supply. So there are two issues. One, is it really going to work? And the other, is it available? So in terms of whether it's going to work, both this one from Regeneron and the one from Lilly have some data that it may prevent people from going into the hospital when they have COVID initially. This one, Regeneron, what they found is that it might reduce symptoms or the time it takes for you to start improving your symptoms by a day. So the real benefit of these drugs is not if they reduce symptoms, it's really if they prevent people from going into the hospital. But the suggestion is that the drugs work. It's another issue of whether people will be able to get them because there are so few doses in so many cases.
And when we look at this drug in the round with the vaccines that are coming on the market, what kind of bedfellows are there? I mean, can you envisage it being rolled out across the country, or when the vaccines come along, it won't be necessary anymore?
These drugs will be a complement to the vaccine. So a year from now, hopefully there's lots of vaccine, everybody's vaccinated, maybe few people will get the infection, and this drug will be used on very few people, this antibody drug. But in the next 6 months, that's not going to happen. So there's a desperate need for something given to patients to prevent the overcrowding of hospitals and the worsening severity of the disease for some people. And that's needed now because the vaccine is not going to be rolled out. Even if it's authorized or approved in the next 3 weeks, it is not going to be rolled out to the general public for months and months and months. So they have a role to play together. And then again, even when the vaccine is plentiful and many people have been vaccinated, not everybody will be vaccinated, and even those who are vaccinated may still become infected, so there will be a role for these antibodies.
There we go, Dr. Walid Jalad there. He's Associate Professor of Medicine and Health Policy and Management at the University of Pittsburgh, talking about the rolling out of that drug, the antibody drug, Regeneron. President Trump got it, of course, when he became ill with COVID. It only really works, though, if you give it to people in the early stages. And they haven't made enough for a mass rollout as yet. Newsday, BBC World Service, stay with us.
And on December 17, for Moderna reviews and gets the advice from its advisory committee of independent experts and hopefully approves the vaccine.
Slaoui was interviewed on ABC's This Week.
Researchers at Johns Hopkins University say more than 12 million people have contracted COVID-19 in the U.S. More than 256,000 have died. New York has one of the lowest coronavirus infection rates in the country. But Governor Andrew Cuomo warns that could change as the holidays approach. From member station WSHU, Desiree Diorio has more.
Cuomo has joined a chorus of public health officials urging people to stay home for Thanksgiving. Busy airports and long lines at COVID test centers suggest travelers are not taking the advice.
The problem is that this is a dangerous period because you have increased social activity by definition. That's what happens between now and New Year's Eve.
Cuomo warns infection rates will spike in December and January due to holiday travel. He says several areas of New York City, including Upper Manhattan and Staten Island, are becoming hotspots and could face new restrictions as early as next week. For NPR News, I'm Desiree Diorio in New York.
The United Nations Office of Human Rights is calling for an investigation of a police crackdown on protesters in Guatemala this weekend. Demonstrations continue. People are angry about a budget that cuts social programs. Maria Martin reports.
Sunday's protest in central Guatemala City was smaller than that held Saturday, but the demands were the same. Fuera, out with corrupt politicians, especially President Alejandro Yamatei and the establishment lawmakers who approved the controversial budget. They also called for an end to the police brutality that left dozens injured at Saturday's protest. Meanwhile, many, including opposition politicians, are calling for the Justice Department to investigate possible government involvement in the burning of Guatemala's historical congressional building Saturday. For NPR News, I'm Maria Martin in Antigua, Guatemala.
This is NPR News.
I'm going to send my parasitologist there. We're going to look for hookworm. And that was my first time hearing about hookworm.
Right, and in fact, the study was organized. You ended up actually carrying samples to, was it Baylor Medical School? To Houston, okay. Right. And what it found was pretty alarming, wasn't it?
It was very alarming. I was actually shocked by it. And they found other tropical parasites too, but I was very shocked by it. And we knew that this was kind of a smoking gun, if you will, but I didn't realize the impact of it on the American psyche once it was released, and I didn't realize that the attention it would cause internationally in the wealthiest country in the world to have diseases that are generally associated with extreme poverty.
You know, as you developed your campaign to deal with this, it was one of the things that struck me was that you worked with people who you didn't necessarily agree with. There's a man named Bob Woodson, who was a conservative, who worked on, development in poor communities. Not the most likely person that you might have connected with. Tell us a little bit about him and his role in any of this.
Well, I met Mr. Woodson at a faith-based summit in Washington. I heard him speak, and I approached him afterwards, and I asked him would he help me with Lowndes County. And he invited me to his office, and I brought people to his office, and later he came to Lowndes County himself. And it just so happened on that first visit, there was a detour because one of the county commissioners, a female, said, "Catherine, you have to go and see this site. I want you to go visit this family." And I didn't understand what she was talking about, and that was the first time I encountered a family that was dealing with the raw sewage issue and had been threatened with arrest. I think the husband and wife had been arrested because they had a failing septic system. And Mr. Woodson was deeply moved by this. He's a person that was born and raised in Philadelphia, who termed himself a Jack Kemp Republican, but had a lot of deep respect in the communities where he worked, and these were primarily poor communities. There's a part of Mr. Woodson that I think a lot of people don't know. They hear black political conservative and they stop. But he himself was also a winner of the MacArthur Award because of the work that he does in communities. And he told me that he didn't have any experience in rural communities, but he was willing to learn. And that relationship, he was able to bring a lot of resources. And it was very effective in a state that is Republican run.
Right, so you got some momentum in part with his assistance. And, you know, one measure of your pragmatism in this is that at one point, you know, you had connected with Senator Jeff Sessions, the Republican representing Alabama, and wanted to get him interested. And to make sure he got interested, you actually organized a political fundraiser for him, right? How did
Yes.
How did that go?
It was very interesting because I knew that in order for him to take Lowndes County seriously, he had to see us differently because I was the economic development coordinator for the county at the time, and every time I would get in touch with someone, some people would literally laugh at me and say, "Oh, there's the only reason to go to Lowndes County is to get to Selma or to get to Montgomery." So in order to change that and to make sure that we had a champion, I had met Senator Sessions prior to then, and he had town hall meetings. So I went to one of his town hall meetings and asked the question. He was talking.
Back at it. Falling. Get all this process. Take all this out. Getting it done. Without damaging anything. Get this group out of the way. Push that way. Cut these down this way. Continue down. The food garden, southeastern face. Do like 4 acres. Fire suppression, but also top of the mountain. Clear shots. Get into the virtual antenna from Bill. And I'm gonna take this group, drop them this way. Top of the hill. Get these rocks that are here, build them up, take into the mine. Done. Man, turn this into structures. Build. Cut these stumps out. Tobacco up. Boom. Comes up this pocket now. Green Island. Take out a few to save the minute. But immortalize them. Turn them into structures. They're not done. It takes me a while to get to all this since I'm just dropping it, but I want to get through it before summertime. It's gonna be a dry winter. Just we branch all this stuff, bucket down, separate it out for boards, so forth. Wind caught it. Get this process down. Logs, firewood. You get some nice boards out of that. They're good 135 feet. Some comes on the 4th. Gotta make area for it. Getting it processed, buck down. Getting it in. Get the last one for tonight. Flip some more wood. Done splitting wood. Put the wood on.
I'm using those boards that I got gifted at Craigslist, so I gotta work with what I got. These are free flooring.
Beautiful morning.
Like that. There's 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4 that are the same height.
They are not the same height, honey. I can see from over here, they're not the same height. The people in the video, you can see it's just not the same height. Yeah.
I'll ask somebody else whenever somebody comes by here.
I hope you put it up there since you like to be a drunk.
I like to be.
Yeah, you know.
They are the same.
Yeah, they're the same height.
Just saying. You can go along.
They're the same height, right?
These two are.
Those two are.
Those two are.
And the other rest aren't.
This
Cool.
and these are, which is gonna keep it.
Yeah, that's the same height. Get you some shin guards so you don't lose or break your top of your foot and that shit falls off there into it.
Bueno.
It's not. No, shut up. Just help her so that I can go do what I need to do. Doing that like that's pointless, honey. It's like the little stupid ass thing you tried to do with the not screwing the stuff down with the fucking clothing wrap. It's just gonna fall off doing it like that, honey. Look at your stoppers. Grab in. Grab in. You screwed up, man. Since you said all this was ugly, you shouldn't have messed with nothing. Cause that just throws it in. It's all ugly. Come on. Grab it in. Walk away. Cause it's level.
Honey, I never said that it was all level. I'm aware there's some posts that are the same. There's some posts that are different. 4 and 4. Please. You just take things out of context.
I do by saying that they're not level, honey. And you said that they're all level.
Thank you for the hint.
They're level, honey. No, they're not. As you see, they're not level. That wasn't what I said. You recorded, homie. That's why I always record. That shit's not level.
Play the recording, dude, and
That
stop
is not
fucking
level.
playing your mind game saying that I'm changing shit.
I didn't say you did.
There's a reason why I'm fucking around with the fucking polls. It's a simple observation to look at them and make you see they're not fucking level.
Yeah, so why would you put some weight on top of that could break your feet or whatever? If it's not level, honey, you should stabilize it instead of fucking doing what you're doing. Okay, okay. I'm not. I shut up.
Thank you.
I'm gonna sit back and watch.
Thank you. Thank you. I needed thank
Sure. I just don't want to be next to something if it fucking breaks. I don't want to get hurt. I'm tired of getting hurt by shit. Tired of getting hurt by shit. My head hurts. Not by my shit that I put up with no nails or none of that. Or loosely put up or none of that shit. It's not done by me. It's done by somebody else that has, they're doing it says I wouldn't do it like that because it's not fucking safe. I always end up getting fucking hurt by it.
Show me how you would have done it.
Do what? I want do what?
What you said you would have done it.
What, put the boards on top of the thing? They're 10 foot?
Life just showed me different.
Oh, okay, now you're changing.
Screws, no screws, show me.
feel you. Crazy. She went to school for fabric. I'd never argue with her about that. But for some reason, engineer. Let's argue with her. So, make your shit. I don't use it. It just keeps breaking and falling apart and wasting energy. But, hands on his wife. I got a bunch of wood for it. I'm gonna cut this up. Get this out of the way real quick. This 100-foot cable. I'm cutting on. Cut this out. Put a 20-foot igloo thing right there. Take out that thin cottonwood. Thin out everything. Cut where I can do it. Building off the top of this. Come out 20 feet with steel beams. Come up into it. I gotta thin this out way more than I've done already. These guys. Same for over here. Put a cut down, make a green island. Thin this out.
Knock you squares off with this ladder. You think we a joke? I'm from California, my nigga. I
Gotta
never
drop
see the
this.
snow. Except for in my kitchen, my nigga. And we was wind blow. My wire, my nigga. Only God flyer. Try and keep warm by the fire. In my fly tire. Never wanna rap on the beat. That's just a crier. Feds.
Get the radiator switched out on our chiver. Get that bitch going. We got a lot of work. A lot of work. Get shape. Get in shape, baby. Hack these guys up. Hack this up. This got my useful board. Cutting those out of the way. Got these this way. I'm gonna cut this guy up real quick before we go into town. Getting it in. Getting it in. Get over into here. We're gonna put our igloo. They're 20 foot by 11 foot high. Use a dryer lint dryer as a pre-filter. I was like, finally got dirty. Pre-filter over my filter. Nice. Gotta clean the original filters. Excellent pre-filter. Dryer filter finally got dirty enough where I had to change it. See the filter underneath?
Yeah, perfect.
Instead of having to spin
$20
per filter. Spend $3 and get a cat dander filter.
Oh, the cat, yeah, the cat one. Good thought.
And that wasn't even a full sheet. There's like 300 or 400 sheets per box.
Prevent it from getting the filter dirty.
I was like, oh, dude, it's not working. It's starting to bog out.
It's dirty as fuck.
Wait a minute. I did my thought, the dryer lint, so we don't have to go out and buy a new filter. That day of arguing, going, dude, no. What's nice is these come apart.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to do that to your chainsaw, these pieces come apart where you can fit it inside and on the outside. Are you ready to go on the town? Yeah. All right. Brand new filter.
I gave Romeo food, don't give him more food.
Yeah, seeing him go inside. Put this back together.
You coming in over there?
Huh?
You coming over there to get filter, or you want me to get your filter?
Oh, I'll do that when I get home. The little guy, dude, he was so like wrapped around with the cottonwoods and stuff. He was the typical, yeah, like a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Romeo!
Charlie Brown Christmas tree, but 105.
Little thing. Do you need anything?
Huh?
Do you need anything from town?
I was gonna go with you.
Oh, perfect. Sounds good.
so scared.
Wow. Crazy.
These guys here, I have to pull out with a chain. I don't want to cut them, use them in my building. I like the coloration of them. And these tops up here have some nice. A couple of them here, if you did them nice, you'd be able to get all the flooring you've been trying to fluster about. Ow. Set you right there. Gas for the chainsaw. And get that external hatchet show unit going. Have it running off of that. Man, that opened. Cut the stumps out. I use some of these as beams. I want to build some stuff back up. It's not, that canopy's gone. Summertime, it's going to be scorching right here. Semi thinned out, not been thinned out.